The Chosen is a recently released series that has been taking the Christian world by storm. Season 1 came out about a year or so ago, and Season 2 is currently midway through distribution. I was one of the people who was initially skeptical of this series, as I'm fairly skeptical of most Christian media that comes out from the filmmaking perspective, but this was a pleasant surprise and one that I quickly fell in love with. So, the question today is, what makes The Chosen different? Welcome once again, my name is Austin, and this channel is all about digging deeper and going further to better understand faith and film and everything that is in between. If that sounds exciting to you, make sure you click that subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on any new content. As I initially mentioned, I was pretty skeptical of The Chosen when it first came out. I tend to be very skeptical of most Christian movies and the few and far between TV series that come out. Up until pretty much this series, the only Christian movie that I love is Ragamuffin. There are a few other decent ones that have been getting better in recent years, but most just don't come up to par. So what makes The Chosen different in the Christian realm, as well as personally in my life, because I'm not easy to impress when it comes to Christian movies and TV shows. The first difference that I think really helps to enable this series is it was created first outside the Hollywood system, and also probably more importantly outside of the Christian film industry. Whereas most of the movies that revolve around Christianity that come out of the Hollywood system tend to take too much creative liberty and change so much that it's barely recognizable. And then when it comes to the Christian film industry, most stuff just ends up being unrealistic, not very authentic, and just very preachy at the audience. So what I've loved about The Chosen and why I think it's different is they have no agenda. It is basically independently made, and the series has, in my opinion, the great balance of creative freedom. The creative freedom is to the level that it's fairly accurate, and at the same time, it's exciting. The next reason why I think The Chosen stands out as something different is the series took a different approach. We have Dallas Jenkins at the helm, and he is the writer, director, and he's not like the exclusive guy, but he has the singular vision for this series. He obviously brought in tons of theologians and scholars to help him to write the series. Obviously, he's got a huge team of people to help him with the production of set design, actors, all that kind of stuff, props. But he has a singular vision, which I think helps to convey the message and the story and the purpose of this series. Along with that different approach, this is the first biblical series that is planned and structured as a multi-season series, rather than just making it a limited series or a movie where they try to cram, literally in this case, like if you tried to take the years of Jesus' ministry, which is about 3 years, most of the adaptations up until this point crammed all of that into a 2-hour movie or a limited series of some kind, where they structured this show as a multi-season. They know kind of where each season is going to go. They have a beginning and they have an end, and they're filling in those gaps, and they're not afraid to take their time. And one of the most exciting things I think with this different approach is this project is 100% crowdfunded. This is fully funded by the fans and people who are passionate about the mission and the project that they're taking on. This is a joint effort by thousands, if not tens of thousands of people who are combining their funds and resources and prayers to help make this possible. And I love the community aspect of this series that goes beyond just the show itself. There's such a loving and huge community revolving around it all. So what makes The Chosen different for me personally? One of the biggest things for me has been the authenticity. In the series, we have really fleshed out and compelling characters. Each of the disciples, as well as the other characters in the show, feel like real people. It's so easy reading the Bible today and looking back on that. It's hard to make that connection and remind yourself that they're real people sometimes. Like, there's stuff that happened in between the verses that we're reading. And this series is not afraid to take some creative liberty and explore what likely would have happened happened in between those verses. And it gives us really good character development, backgrounds, all that kind of stuff to really ensure that these characters feel real, because they were. And it really helps to enable us, the viewer, as we relate to them. I also really appreciate, like I mentioned before, that this series is taking its time. It's not rushing. It's not trying to cram Jesus' ministry of 3 years into a 2-hour movie or even 1 season of a series. They're taking their time. They have a structure of what they're planned out for, I believe, 7 seasons, and they know kind of where each season's gonna go and where they want the series to end. It seems like so often most biblical movie adaptations just kind of focus on the highlights, a couple of the big miracles in Jesus' ministry, and jump right to the crucifixion and the resurrection. Where with The Chosen, the majority of this series is going to be the 3 years of Jesus' ministry and all of the miracles that took place, all of the messages he preached, all that kind of stuff. We get to follow that journey that leads up to the crucifixion, which will be in the series, and also the resurrection. But it's not the primary focus, where obviously that is very important, probably the most important event that took place in this story, but we get that background that really helps to sell it. And final point for me personally of what makes The Chosen different for me is the fact that this series makes me want to explore my Bible more. I really appreciate that throughout most of the episodes, we get a flashback to something in the Old Testament oftentimes, and then we kind of get back into the current time, into the current story that's being told, and we get to see those correlations and kind of fill in those gaps throughout Scripture. And kind of seeing those different perspectives and kind of knots being tied of drawing those connections for you really makes me want to dig into my Bible more often. I am not a perfect person. I don't read my Bible every single day, but the fact that I can find and watch something that I love that also makes me want to read my Bible is an excellent opportunity. When you watch something on the screen and you go, wow, did that actually happen? You actually have the opportunity to dig into this book to help you better appreciate the most important book ever written. So I'm not sure how long this video will end up being, and I was kind of struggling with kind of what to do a video on this week, and I almost didn't do anything, but The Chosen has been something that I've been very focused on lately, and I wanted to kind of share my thoughts on it and help to encourage more people to check out this series. So if you've not checked out The Chosen series, you can watch it completely free. They want as many people as they can to watch it. All you have to do is download the Chosen app. You don't have to buy the Blu-ray. I just did because I wanted to support the ministry. They have it on Blu-ray and DVD. There's devotionals, all that kind of stuff. But you can watch the series 100% free just by downloading the Chosen app. That's not sponsored by any means. I just want to promote this show even more and get it out there because it means a lot to me. So thank you for checking out this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got something out of it. If you're someone who's also been watching The Chosen, jump down in the comments and share some of the big differences that you appreciate from The Chosen series that it does differently from most of the other stuff out there. If you've not seen The Chosen, also jump down in those comments and see what other people are saying, because it's an excellent series and I've only scratched the surface of how much stuff there is to it. So thank you once again for sticking around to the end of this video. I'll see you in the next one.